This is the Chefpreneur podcast, where we inspire professional cooks to take on greater risk to build a personal chef business for themselves. Now, here's your host, Andres Hinojosa.
Welcome to another episode of the Chefpreneur podcast. My name is Andres Hinojosa. I am your host. Thank you so much again, guys, for tuning in today. And, I just wanted to start off this podcast by again just saying thank you. We've been working nonstop regarding the Chefpreneur program that we're about ready to launch. And we're just really excited about it. We've been building the content out, and it's just amazing. I have 3 beta students that are going through the program currently. One is actually already finished, and it's just been amazing to see the transformation of what the information is doing for them. And so I'm really excited about when we launch this. I just can't wait to just continue to help more chefs and cooks out there kind of take their life and put in their own hands and start their own business. And it's just really exciting for us. So thank you guys again for supporting this podcast. We can't do this without you. We love speaking to you every week. And, on every episode of the Chefpreneur podcast, we kind of do a Q&A at the beginning. So I'm going to take a question that we had on our Facebook group, which is the Chefpreneur Movement Facebook group. If you're wanting to join, it's a free private group, so you guys can just request to join it. But Chef Josh asks, Chef Andres, what are some of the ways you add value through servitude, meaning those hidden needs that clients may not have realized through others? So I think one of the things, if I'm understanding as well the question correctly, Chef, is what I think that when you're looking at a client's needs, you do want to be anticipating different needs that they have. Of course, the basic needs that you're wanting to fulfill are the ones that were promised as a personal chef or as the business owner, as such as yourself, has promised them, right? If you're saying that you're going to deliver a 4-course meal on the set menu that you guys already discussed, that's what you have to fulfill their commitments on. It's amazing how many companies and even how many personal chefs don't even fulfill kind of what they've promised the client, which is kind of sad because, again, that's what we're there for. We're there to serve them. And if you guys it looks like Chef Josh understands servitude really well. We did do a whole podcast episode where it was titled Servitude. I recommend going back and basically taking a listen to that podcast. But one of the things that I like to do as far as some of those hidden needs is really, again, just anticipating their needs in the sense of looking at the experience that they're having, what the special occasion is, what is actually going on in the specific moment that you can basically lend a hand to and just help elevate. And what I mean by that is that we tend as human beings to really want someone to wait on us. We want someone to do that. But at the same time, we all honestly sometimes don't ask. We're a little bit shy. And you'll find the same thing with clients. A lot of times clients are looking for that over-the-top experience. But to be very honest with you, like I said, most companies don't even hit the mark on some of the standards. And so they're just happy if they get that basic level of service and you're basically giving them the experience that you promised you would give them. But going above and beyond in those hidden needs is something that people just really, they're really shocked when you do that type of thing for them. And I'll give you an example about that. I've said it before, but I did another event, and the lady was having a birthday party for herself, actually. It was a 40th birthday party. And when we got there, it didn't even seem like, I'll be very honest with you, it didn't even seem like some of the friends were like that interested. They were kind of like scattered all over the place. It was a weird, odd situation. And one of the things that I realized was that when we came on the scene, people started gravitating towards us, and we started to kind of, I guess you would say people started interacting with us. And I had my, a member of my team there with me. And basically we started again turning the group back onto the 40th birthday girl. And what it did was it started to ignite kind of this whole I guess you would say, this whole night of like making it be about her. Now, you would expect them to make it about her, but they didn't. And so what we started doing was we were like, we started looking at the little things, and we were noticing that people had gifts for her, but really didn't have them like one place. And so what we did was we took all their gifts and put them on like a table, and we're like, hey, do you mind if we put some gifts from the guest and from the people that are joining us for dinner? Like if we put them on this table and they can all be in one place and it'll be nice and you can go through and open them and read cards. And she's like, oh, that sounds great. That sounds fantastic. And we're like, yeah. And we just kept on anticipating her needs and those hidden needs that we wanted to trigger. And by the time we got to the dinner, it was great because I saw that all the guests were interacting with the birthday girl, and it was all about her again in the middle of, in this middle of this whole event. And when we first kind of showed up, it just seemed like everybody was scattered. And so through what we were, through our servitude and through kind of us anticipating those needs that they didn't even realize that they needed someone to help them with, we got kind of the event back on track, and people were like, yeah, we're celebrating her. We're celebrating your 40th. And like, it was all about her for the remainder of the evening. And it was really, really nice to see them. Again, these are people that are there, and I'm sure that they loved her and they were good friends of hers and family, but it just didn't seem like nobody was paying attention, unfortunately. So again, we got there and we just anticipated those needs with servitude. And we're like, man, how can we serve her and make her 40th even better? Like, we're going to come, we're going to cook, we're going to give great food, great service on that side of it. But what can we do a little extra that's really going to set us, to that higher mark and really give them the experience that they won't forget? So great question, Chef Josh. I hope that kind of answered your question, as some of those hidden needs and some of the things that I've done, and even sometimes that we haven't, that they haven't even realized themselves that they want or need, but we're basically a step ahead of them and getting them to have that great experience that we want to be known for, and serving them with the biggest, and the best heart possible. So thanks again, Chef Josh. Hey, if you guys want a question answered here on the podcast, you can go ahead and email us at info@chefpreneurprogram.com. That's info@chefpreneurprogram.com. Or you can, like I said, search us on Facebook on the Chefpreneur Movement Facebook group. You could join that group if you haven't joined. It's a private group, but it is completely 100% free. And we definitely love to hear from you, and we can answer any questions. We do pull questions. This one was pulled off of Facebook, and we'd love to answer your guys' questions or anything that you'd want to discuss on the podcast. We'd love to hear from you guys. So with that being said, let's dive right into today's podcast, which is titled, What is the Message You Are Sending Your Clients? Let me repeat that. What is the message you are sending your clients? Now, here's the deal, guys. This episode, I really wanted to focus on messaging because I feel that not only just in the personal chef business world, but in any business, messaging is probably one of the most important things that's out there. And what do I mean by messaging? I'll give you kind of a couple scenarios. And when I go on some of these personal chef websites, and again, I'm not going to say any specific names or even any areas of the United States that I've looked at some of these websites, and I'm looking at different, personal chef service providers, and I'm noticing that on their website, it's all about them, and the message is very clear. They're sending us a message of, hey, this is me, I'm Chef Brian, or I'm Chef Stacy, and, I'm blah, 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 blah. I cooked for so-and-so, I cooked for this person, I've dealt with many celebrities, I'm certified, I'm a certified personal chef, I'm certified in this, I'm certified in that, I went to Le Cordon Bleu, and listen, I'm not saying that any of those things are bad, okay? That's not what I'm trying to get at here. But here's the thing. When you want to convey your message in your marketing material on your website, the way you talk to clients, the message that you send them is probably the most vitally important thing that most people, not only just personal chefs, but most businesses, I feel like, do wrong. Okay. And let me expound on that. When you're sitting there and you're a client and you're going to a website of a personal chef and they start seeing all this messaging about the chef, most people think, well, what's wrong with that, Chef Andre? It's like, really? Like, if I was going to hire someone to come cook for me in my home, I'd want to know who it is. Yes, I do want to know who it is. That's fine. But I'll be very honest with you. Most people will not buy your services for who you are or what you're all about or what your background is and all the certifications in the world. I'm just being very, very, very frankly honest with you, okay? Because the message is not speaking to them and what they want to accomplish. And so I see time and time again, I've analyzed hundreds probably of websites of personal chefs, and I've almost seen them all into that category of it being all about them, and really the messaging is so off, it's not even speaking to the client at all. And you know what's crazy is a lot of these chefs are still getting business. They have referrals, they have word of mouth, because word of mouth is very powerful. And so again, if some client hires them, then they might tell another, they might tell their neighbor or their friend, and it can mean, more business and repeat business and referral business, which is great, right? But the thing is that you want a new stream of fresh clients coming into your business. You want to attract new people, and the message has to be very clear. And one of the biggest bullet points that I've seen that where the messaging falls flat right off the bat is you're not even describing what you do. It's crazy, right? You're not even describing what you do. I recently saw a website that was a personal chef business. Again, I won't say the city, but it said, the finer things in life. That's all it said, right? When you got to the website, that's all it said was the finer things in life, right? And then it had a big, massive, beautiful picture, actually. The plate looked fantastic. It looked like really good food, but it was a plate of beautifully seared scallops. Now, here's the thing. If you would take that into a local Starbucks and you would open up a laptop and you would go to that website and you would say, hey, can you tell me in 5 seconds or less what this business offers? What do they actually do? I guarantee you 9.9 people out of 10 will not know what they do. They will not know it's a personal chef business, right? Think about that. Find the finer things in life, and it just shows a picture of scallops. What does that do, right? It could be a scallop dealer. It could be a seafood company. It could be a restaurant. It could be, who knows, a catering company. It might not even have anything to do. It might just be like a lifestyle blog. Who knows what it is? It's not clear enough. So the message that they're sending to the client is not clear. Now, we've talked about on this podcast before as far as sales. Marketing and sales go hand in hand, right? Marketing is the ability to basically portray what you do, what you offer, to the world, right? And sales is taking the people that are interested that message speaks to and bring them down to close the deal and actually make the sale. Hence the reason why it's called sales. And I've been telling this to my beta students so much because I think there's this misconception that some people are like, well, I don't get it, man. I have the best looking pictures on my website. I have, a picture of me plating up some insane piece of, Wagyu beef, or some insane picture of me doing some sous vide or whatever. This beautiful sauce and like the picture is like, it's amazing, chef. Like I hired a photographer to take this photos of me and did this whole photo session. And that's great. Photos are great. And honestly, a really good quality photo is worth 1,000 words. But what 1,000 words is that picture actually saying? That's the other thing. The message that you convey your clients on any level, whether it's through the website, whether it's through email, whether it's face-to-face, it has to be about the customer. It has to be a message that they can relate to. It's very simple. If you're solving problems, right? A problem that someone has. That's really what business in the end of the day is all about, right? It's a problem, right? Any business that starts in this entire world is based upon a level of problem, right? Take any business that you know of. Obviously, a clothing company, okay? People need to be clothed. If you walk outside naked, you probably will get arrested for streaking. It's just common sense. So clothing companies supply clothes. And not only that, they go above that, right? That's just a basic need and a basic problem they're solving. But then there's stature, there's, basically fashion, there's different levels of how it makes them feel, right? Obviously, a thick, jacket is what you need for in the winter. You're not, you don't need a tank top in the wintertime. You need a jacket, things like that. So any business that you look at in this world solves a problem. And so you have to ask yourself, what's my messaging saying? Am I portraying not only a problem that they're going to have, not that they're going to have, but a problem you want to solve, but are you inspiring them through your messaging on, what you actually do? Number one, I know it sounds very basic, but what you actually do. And then the second one is, how are you going to make their life? How is that going to actually make their life better? It's really simple. That's it. Right. And part of that and that messaging on how you're going to make their life better, you can mention some of their negatives and some of their pitfalls in there. Right. And that's the thing, because it's like realistically, it's like, well, are you tired of going out to restaurants when you have little kids? Well, hire a personal chef. A personal chef will give you that restaurant style experience in the comfort of your own home. It's really simple. They're like, wow, that is true. That's a problem that we have. We have, whatever, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and it's really hard to go out to a restaurant. You know what I mean? Now, I'm saying some lengthy words here. I'm not saying that you should blast that right and first and foremost on your website, but this is the messaging that I talk to my clients every single day. In fact, I just got 3 inquiries just today. We've been averaging, 2-3 inquiries a day on the website. It's been pretty amazing. And we're spending zero money in advertising. This is just obviously through not only, referrals, but through strategic partnerships and through, our SEO, and our website's doing really well. And so as I'm getting all of these phone calls booked because of the process I have that I teach in the program, to where when they inquire through our website, they're going right straight to another page to basically schedule a phone call with me. And the reason why I do that is because it's all about, again, that messaging. When I get them on the phone, what do I first ask them? I ask them, first of all, I thank them for being on the phone with me and spending time with me, right? Because we're so busy that, what I mean? It's just like for someone to actually spend, 5, 10, 15 minutes with you on the phone is a big deal. And clearly they're interested in personal chef services because they contacted us through our website. And trust me, my website, dinnerwithachef.com, clearly states what we offer: a personal chef for any occasion. It can't be simpler than that, right? And that's what the message has to portray. The first thing is, what do you do? And how do you say that is in the simplest terms possible. If a third grader can't understand it, then no offense, you're burning way too many calories trying to ponder about it in your brain, and you're racking your head because you're thinking to yourself, man, I can't even figure out the finer things in life with a scalp. I can't even figure out what this person does. And guess what happens? They leave. The average consumer every single day sees thousands of advertising images throughout their day. Not even a week, throughout their day. Think about it. You're driving, on the interstate to work and you see billboards. You're listening to the radio. You're listening to commercial ads. You're watching TV at night. You're watching commercials. You're on Facebook. You're seeing paid advertisement. You're on Instagram. You're seeing advertisement. You're on YouTube. You're seeing advertisement. There's thousands of messages that are being portrayed to people every single day. And now maybe back in the day it was kind of the cutesy stuff and kind of the fun, creative ways that you can, put words together that maybe attracted someone. But to be honest, right now, people are just so bombarded with information that it has to speak to them in a simple manner in order to attract their attention, to make it very clear, cut, and concise, because they're only going to give you about 3 to 5 seconds to figure out what you do when they go to your website, or what you do when they go to your website. So it really means a lot in the messaging side of things. You cannot get by with just talking all about yourself, because no offense, if you go to your website, if I go to your website right now and you're a personal chef, and I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm just trying to give you some free advice here. If I go to your website and I pull up your website and you're a personal chef, and the first thing I see is a picture of you and this long paragraph about your pedigree, you're losing tons and tons of business. I want to tell you that right now. You are losing massive amounts of business because absolutely nobody, maybe your mom, maybe your grandma for support has read that paragraph, but almost no one else has. Because, and I'm not saying this with any disrespect, because no one cares. No one cares about you. They're going to the website for themselves. They're wanting something. They're wanting your services. And there is a reason why they're wanting your services, right? And when you start speaking to them about that reason of why they want their services, whether it's weekly meal preparations that you do, hey, you know what? We're here to help. So right on your website, it might just be personal chef services for busy professionals or something like that, right? That's about as simple as you can get And honestly, what I would show as a background image on your website would be an image of possibly the client opening up a container of food that you've prepared, or maybe even them placing it in the oven or something like that, right? Where they're enjoying it, because you want people to get an image of what their life is going to be like after they've done business with you, right? That's really the key. So to be honest with you, if you go to dinnerwithachef.com and you see my website, you'll see people sitting around a table enjoying dinner together. That's what you see. We offer a personal chef service for any occasion. And so basically, I'm wanting to portray what their life's going to be like when they use my services. They're going to have a happy time with each other. There's no picture of me plating up an amazing scallop. There's no picture of me even doing anything. In fact, the only time you see a picture of me on my website is if you purposely go up to the top of the link where it's not even very prominent and it just says team, and you click on the team, you'll see me, right? You'll see a bio of me, a little bio. And honestly, even the bio on my website is written with a message of servitude and with a message that we're here to serve you. We just love serving people, because we're always trying to flip it back onto them, not about us. And it's amazing. I've had actually one of my program beta students was asking me, Chef, how many times have clients actually reached out to you and asked you for certifications? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, actually, I've thought about this, and there has never been one single client that's ever asked about my certifications or even my background or even my work history before wanting my services. I'm not even trying to joke. I'm not telling you a lie. This is honest to God truth. Now, they've asked me my experience when I've gotten to the house after they've already booked me, but they've never asked my experience, and they've never made a buying decision based upon who I am as a person, in the sense of, my background and my prestige and my experience as a chef or a cook. And this is why I teach in the program that some of this stuff doesn't matter. Yes, you have to be a good cook. We've talked about this before, but it's not the selling point, right? It's all about the messaging. If the messaging speaks to them, and to be honest, I'll be very brutally honest right now, I just looked down at my phone and I just saw another inquiry on my website come in. That makes it actually 4 today in the last 9 hours. And again, guys, I repeat, I am not buying ads or anything like that for my personal chef services. This literally means I've gotten 4 inquiries off my website today. Now, here's the thing. I don't have the statistic for you right now to tell you how many people have come to my website today and how many people actually filled out their information and submitted it to me and scheduled a phone call with me. That makes it 4 scheduled phone calls. In fact, for tomorrow, I just saw she scheduled it with me tomorrow. So I'm going to have 4 phone calls with clients tomorrow during the day. And here's the thing, guys. I really don't know how many people came to my website, but I will tell you, if my website had a picture of my face and a big old paragraph of what I did, I can almost guarantee you not one of these people would have filled out the application or filled out the information inquiry to schedule a phone call with me to find out more about my services. I wouldn't have had one. I can almost guarantee that, because it would have taken them too much effort to figure out what's going on and digging through, contacts and all this stuff like that. And honestly, that's the messaging I'm talking about. You want to portray a message to your client or how you're going to benefit their life, what you offer them, and how you're going to benefit their life. Those are the 2 most important fundamental things, because you want to solve their problems. You want to solve a problem that they have, and that's all they care about. If you start talking about that, it's game over, right? For instance, I was telling this to one of my program students. We've talked about this before, that, if you had a classic Mercedes-Benz diesel, right, and you're trying to figure out where to take it, you call the Mercedes-Benz dealership and they're like, you know what, it's a 1973, Mercedes-Benz diesel. And they're like, you know what, we can do some basic stuff on it. We can change out the tires. We could do an oil change, so forth and so on. Here's the thing. If it's anything more deeper in repairs, we don't know how to do it. Unfortunately, we don't specialize in our mechanics here at the modern dealership don't really know how to specialize in those classic cars, unfortunately, right? So what do? You're going to have to look at someone who is specializing. Now, if I went to a website and it was just some general mechanic, and the mechanic, think about it this way. If you were looking and you had that diesel Mercedes, and if you had one of those things would last forever. Those are great cars. But think about it. You're looking for someone, you're Googling someone, right? Maybe a Mercedes-Benz diesel mechanic, right? And all of a sudden, one of these, one of the web pages that pops up is, this mechanic named Bob. And it just has a picture of Bob, and it tells you this whole life story about how he's grown up in Germany and blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, okay. And there's no contact button. You're kind of digging around. There's a phone number, that could be okay because honestly, it's a pretty small niche. And so you might just dig around enough to find it because the problem with the car is driving you crazy. But let me give you another scenario. What happens if you click on Bob's website and instead you see a picture of someone driving down the road a pristine 1970s style Mercedes-Benz diesel car, right? And the tagline or the headline there was saying, a true or a Mercedes-Benz diesel mechanic. I mean, about as simple as you can get it, right? And then underneath say, having a hard time or, enjoy or, rest assured your 70s Mercedes diesel is in good hands with Bob, right? Here's the thing. You're telling me exactly what I need, what services you offer, and how it's going to benefit my life. You're going to be able to sit back, relax, and just rest assured that your Mercedes-Benz is going to be taken care of by Bob. I mean, it's as simple as that. You don't even have to understand who Bob is. It doesn't even matter at that point. You're thinking, right, with a big button underneath it that says, contact us. That's it. Simple. In 5 seconds or less, without using hardly any brain power, you can figure out what this website, what this company does, and how it's going to benefit your life. And this is the messaging I wanted to kind of get out to you guys today. No matter if you're doing consulting, you're doing meal preparation, you're wanting to start your own private event, personal chef business like my own. But what we teach in the Chefpreneur program is we actually give you all the kind of the messaging on how you need to structure your messaging and how you can talk to clients. We give you email templates. We even give you a phone call sales script so you know what to say. So tomorrow when I call these 4 clients, I literally follow my own script. I know exactly what to say, what to ask, how to control the conversation. And I'll be very honest with you, a lot of times, probably 60% of the time, they're wanting to book me on the spot after this 15-minute phone call without ever asking me where my background is, where I've cooked, what restaurants or hotels I've come from. They could care less because I'm asking the right questions and it's all about them with the proper messaging, solving a problem, painting the picture that they're going to have this amazing experience because that's what we deliver, and solving that need that they have, we are going to get the sell. So your message is so powerful, it's beyond belief. It's not about how pretty your pictures are. It's about the words, the 1,000 words that your pictures say, because they do say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but it has to be the right words, right? It has to be the right words. And that's what the messaging is all about. Hey, I hope you guys got a lot of this podcast today. I'm really excited to share this with you. We are still working, like I said, on the Chefpreneur program. We're so excited. We're so close to launch. The beta students, we're seeing incredible results with them. And we're really loving every minute of it. I personally am loving mentoring these people. They're just great chefs. And so I'm loving seeing them go through the process and seeing their whole attitude and their whole mindset and the things that they're learning through the program. I'm seeing them being transformed. And it's just really, honestly, it's very fulfilling for me. And I can't wait to just help out as many chefs and cooks as I can, get them to basically just get them to be motivated, get them to be educated, and get them to be inspired to take that leap of faith, start their own business, and create experiences that they want to create without anyone holding them back. Hey, we believe the future is yours and you could put it in your own hands. We're still giving a copy away of our free ebook. If you go to ebook.chefpreneur.com, ebook.chefpreneurprogram.com. You guys can get a copy of that ebook, or you can find us on Facebook by searching the Chefpreneur Movement Facebook group. Like I said, it's a private group, but it is 100% free. You can also find the link to download the ebook in there in that group as well. So you can go ahead and search for us on Facebook. Hey guys, as always, this has been a great podcast. I'm really excited again about the program. We're set to launch. Thank you so much for tuning in. We can't wait to talk to you next week. Take care. Have a great one.
Thank you for listening to the Chefpreneur podcast, where we want to educate, motivate, and inspire as many chefs to become their own boss. Please subscribe to the podcast and join us every week to be part of the movement. To sign up for our free online training, visit becomeachefpreneur.com.